Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we're diving into the world of Aldel Financial 2 Inc., a company that's currently a blank check firm, meaning they exist to merge with or acquire another business. It's like they're waiting for their fairy tale ending, except this fairy tale is a business deal, and sometimes those end in tears. So what does the most recent report for Aldel show? Well, they are basically holding a big pile of money, waiting for something to happen, and making some income along the way. Before we get into it, if you appreciate getting straight insights from corporate documents, make sure you're subscribed. We also have a Discord community linked in the description below. This is a 10Q filing, essentially a quarterly report. Companies use these reports to give the Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, and investors a regular update on how things are going. Let's see what's up with Aldel. This report covers the period that ended in March of 2025. So this is fairly recent information that we will dig into. Let's jump straight into the important stuff, the money. As of March of 2025, they had about $879,000 in cash. Sounds like a lot, right? Well, keep in mind what they're trying to do, but the real money is in their trust account, sitting pretty at around $235 million. This is the cash they raised from their IPO, their initial public offering, and it's earmarked or set aside for that future business combination. Think of it like a wedding fund, but for mergers. Now, for the other side of the balance sheet, their liabilities or debts are quite low, about $12,800 in accounts payable. That's a good sign. It means they aren't racking up a ton of bills while waiting for a deal. In total, liabilities end up being just that 12,800 number. So the difference between their assets and their liabilities will be their equity. Looking at the equity part, a bit more technical here. They have a lot of authorized shares they can issue, but for now, very few have been actually issued or are outstanding. There's a difference. Their retained earnings, that is the money they have made and kept, is around $1.1 million. So what that means in their case is they did earn some money over time, but they also lost some money as well. Moving on to their income statement for the 3 months ended in March. The company reported net income of around $2.2 million. Sounds good. The company earned that amount. Where is it coming from? Well, most of it is coming from their investment income on the trust account, which made them around $24 million. So it's not like they're running an active business, but they're making money off of the money they raised. Now, it wasn't all profit, because general and administrative expenses, that's just running the business, cost them about $64,000. That translates to about 10 cents per share for the basic income per share. This number gives investors an idea of the company's profitability on a per share basis, which helps them decide whether to invest in the company. Basic and diluted loss per non-redeemable share was a negative $0.004, so small fraction of a cent loss per share. The cash flow statement tells us how cash is moving in and out of the company. So the net cash used in operating activities turns out to be about $2.2 million. The money for the trust account had a similar change, so it seems to be all moving along. Now, the notes to the financial statements, basically what you should know about the company. We find here that although they could do a deal in any area, they plan to focus on the financial services industry. This is a key goal. They need to do a business combination within a certain amount of time, otherwise the whole thing falls apart. Aldel is an emerging growth company which gives them certain breaks on financial reporting requirements, so things might not be fully clear. You will find this statement in a lot of SEC filings. Some more details about how they calculate their earning per share. If you are trying to figure out the value, this is definitely something to take a look at. This section explains how they determine the value of their assets and liabilities. They restate some key points of the IPO, which include some of the things we discussed, such as the fact that they had an IPO for 23 million units, generating $230 million. There was also some private placements at the same time as the IPO, bringing in even more money from things like private units and warrants. Finally, there's administrative services agreement, where the sponsor performs certain services for the company, such as running the office, for a monthly fee of $20,000. All said and done, it appears that the person running the company serves as managers of the sponsor company, essentially paying the sponsor from the blank check company to run itself. That will definitely be something to keep in mind. Some final sections about requirements in the event they do combine with a company. This note says there weren't any major events after the end of March through early May. This is important because big changes after the quarter could affect the company's value. This section discusses the company's internal controls over financial reporting. It's basically an evaluation of how well the company is managing its books and records. Their chief executive officer and chief financial officer concluded that their disclosure controls and procedures were not effective. That's not good, however. Company has remedied all the deficiencies post-quarter end, so something to watch out for. Now, putting it all together, Aldel Financial 2 Inc. is in a holding pattern waiting to make a deal. They've got a hefty trust account, low expenses, and are making a bit of interest income along the way. But there are a few things to keep an eye on. Their internal controls weren't initially effective, so that needs to be watched. And like all blank check companies, the clock is ticking. They need to find a good merger target before time runs out, or they have to return all the money. Alright, that's our breakdown of Aldel Financial 2's latest filing. What's your take on these numbers and what they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.